There is one topic, brothers, on this journey which is super important, which is one of the most crucial things and one of the most crucial topics, yet I've been failing to find any good books on it, and I've been failing to find, I wouldn't say failing to find, but it is super hard to eventually find any kind of a real life or would say usable advice on this topic. And so this is my brother, decision making. How to make a decision, how to make good decisions, or even more so, how to not make shitty decisions. And so this video is inspired by my conversation with my brother yesterday. And so basically time is passing. My brother is in the beginning of their 20s, and so what we've been talking about is that, he was like, hey man, like, I'm feeling kind of lost, like I have so many things that I do not really have the intent to do. I wanted to do them differently, but I couldn't really figure out how to do them. And like, it feels like I do not really have the control over my life, and it really feels like, man, like, I wish I could have, getting the things done and not to be like, not to fuck up so many things, because I really want to do my best, but I just simply seems like I can't, because something is just fucking me up. Something is just like, seems like I'm just pulling towards too many directions, and I just simply do not have, or I would say I have too many decisions unmade. And so I was like, man, perhaps one of the problems over there is that you're trying to do too many things at once. You are trying to do too many things at once. You're going to university, trying to build community, trying to figure out love life, trying to do all these things at once. This is the first thing. It just simply will not happen. It just simply will not happen, because we cannot focus on more than one thing. Fucking period. We cannot focus on more than one thing. I mean, we can share our attention, but that is not focus. And if you'd like to do something properly, then we will have to focus upon one fucking thing. And I'm not telling you that you have to focus on that shit for 10 years, but for at least a week or 2 weeks or a month or a period or a season. And so here will be some references that I've been blessed to comprehend throughout this journey, and I would like to share them with you. So basically my journey led me from being undecisive, not being able to make my decisions for myself, pretty much rumbling between starting a musical career, entrepreneurship, science. I've been blessed to have many would say aspects towards all of these disciplines. And so it was pretty hard for me, and basically 1.5 years ago, or maybe we are approaching 2 years, but I would stick with 1.5 years. I pretty much made a decision that, hey man, okay, I'll be going after entrepreneurship. Fuck that shit, I'll be going after entrepreneurship, and I'll become an entrepreneur. And so this journey pretty much led me to realize that I will have to sacrifice many freaking things, and I just simply have to get to a place where I will not be able to become a full-time musician if I become a full-time entrepreneur. So this was basically the very first lesson that I've been blessed to learn, is that I just simply have to let things go. I can only become one thing. So I can become anyone, but not everyone. So whatever the fucking hell I'm deciding, I can become that, but that means that I can only become that shit. It means that I can become the best fucking entrepreneur. I can become the $1 billion fucking entrepreneur, especially that I'm very fucking young. And the same is true for you too. But I cannot become the best entrepreneur and the best musician and the best. So for example, the best entrepreneur, the best guitar player, and the best DJ, and also the best writer. That's highly likely will not fucking happen, because like you just humanly possibly, if you are putting all of your energies towards one direction, chances are very fucking high that you will not eventually get good at all of those things. And obviously there are outliers, brothers. There are outliers, but I would like to talk about the people who are, would say, fall into the normal category. Because let's be honest over here, very, very few of us are Elon Musk, okay? Let's be fucking real over here. or Einstein or some crazy motherfuckers like these guys. And so, this is the very first principle that I wanted to talk to you about, is that focus, picking one thing and sticking with that shit is basically the one thing that eventually worked and works for me. And this is how it works. So every single time when I'm challenging this thing, and every single time when I'm trying to blow this whole thing up, like basically my whole life, my whole hardly built order is just like getting into waste, and like everything is just like blowing up, and so on and so forth. So this is the first thing. The second thing that I wanted to talk about regarding to decision making is that when I just simply feel like I haven't been able to come up with a decision 100%, but I would say that I'm hesitant regarding to that decision, I'm most likely not making that decision. Means that I'm just not that certain regarding to that decision. And so up until if I don't have a deadline on the decision, then I'm not really making that, because I know that one day the solution will pop up. And so when the solution pops up, I'm just like, write that shit down. You made the fucking decision, and now that's like all fucking in. That's like all fucking in. Which leads to the third point, that whenever I made that decision, I'm executing on that fucking shit, man. Like no fucking, excuses, no complaints. Like, you get shit done after that. It's like, for example, this is the shit for me. It's like, I'm making a decision regarding to running. Okay, so will I be running today or not? No, brother. You'll be running for a fucking year because you want this challenge. You just want to figure out this challenge for yourself. Okay, man. And since I've made this decision on my highest point, when I had the clearest vision of my life, I was like, man, I'll be doing this shit. This is good for me. This is overall good for me. When I'm feeling low, this shit is, putting me at a better place. When I'm undecisive, I'm able to make decisions after a good workout session. And so this wasn't particularly for running with me, but it was like working out. You motherfucker will be working out every single day for 1 year from now. And so I had very, very many days when I didn't really fucking feel like it, and I was like fucking sick of this shit. But I just simply gone through that. And the overall benefit from the decision that I've made and I've been executing upon was way, 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 way higher than if I would have been like, hey man, one day I'm doing this, one day I'm doing that, one day I'm doing this, one day I'm doing that. Okay, so fourth point that I also wanted to talk about is that don't the more decisions you're making, and the more you're building up these character traits that will eventually lead you to execute upon those decisions, will eventually lead you towards a place where you will have free space. And so this is why I'm preaching so much for myself in the very beginning, but would like to try to convey for you too, that the more the simpler your life is, the more space you will have to figure out the bigger shit. So for example, it's not like, hey man, what kind of pants should I supposed to be wearing for gym today? No one gives a fucking shit about that, brother. No one gives a fucking shit about that. What kind of dress should I supposed to be wearing in home? No one gives a fucking shit about that. What kind of food should I supposed to be eating? Yes, there is a certain fucking list. You can eat that, period. You can eat any fucking thing of that list, but nothing else. Like cake is, for example, for me it's like ketogenic diet. Ketogenic diet. Leaning towards as vegetarian as I humanly possibly can, as pescatarian as I can be. I mean, like I'm eating a lot of meat, but my diet is keto diet and as pescatarian as I can be. So it's like mostly I'm eating eggs, and yeah, I'm eating chicken too, but mostly I'm trying to lean towards fishes and eggs. Like this is my biggest protein intake. But the point over here is that I'm fucking, a keto fucking diet. It's like I have five veggies on my diet. I have a few other things, and I can combine them like in a trillion ways, because again, like if you have 10 types of foods, like you can, with us also with the spices, you can figure out close to unlimited amounts of variations from that. So already you can overcomplicate that shit. You can already overcomplicate that shit. So coming back to the core message at point 4, the actual idea behind you eventually simplifying your life and making simpler or making decisions up front and sticking with that, making your life simple. And this is what monk mode eventually led me to realize. I've been wearing the same fucking pants, which I'm at home because I'm working mostly, and I'm working from home. I've been wearing those fucking pants for more than a year now, and I'm not telling that I'm not washing them out, but I'm just wearing them. You know, I'm just wearing them. It's like I don't even have to think about it. I don't even have any other kind of a sensation when I'm getting on those pants. And whether you believe it or not, these micro fucking things do matter, because I do not even have a different thought. You know, like I don't have to make a decision regarding to what kind of clothes should I supposed to be putting on, what kind of food should I supposed to be eating, where should I supposed to be going to the groceries, what kind of podcast should I be listening to. The more things I've been resigning from, the easier and simpler my life became. And so, which leads me to the perhaps most important point, let it be point 6 or point 5, excuse me, that the unmade decisions that we have in our lives are basically holding us down. And that is the thing that is holding us back, the unmade decisions. Because the more decisions that we are not making is eventually building up and building up and building up and building up. And at the end of the day, we'll be just so paralyzed to make tiny freaking decisions, just like, hey man, like, like what kind of pants should I supposed to be wearing to go out, or like, should I supposed to be washing my teeth with my other hand? You will just simply lose your ability and capability to focus on the shit that actually matters. So for example, what kind of fucking business should I supposed to be building? Or inside of my business, what is the fucking problem? Or inside of my life, like how the freaking cash should I supposed to be for figuring out my relationship problems and so on. So, the bigger, the actual shit that eventually matters. And so instead of that, we just simply get caught up with all this little shit. And it's like, bro, like today, like which grocery shop should I supposed to be going to? Or what the freaking cash should I supposed to be eating for dinner? And all of these unnecessary fucking BS and these tiny little shitty decisions are holding us back from eventually being able to make these bigger decisions. And you can see this minimalistic trend which became really actual between billionaires. You can see billionaires wearing a freaking t-shirt every single fucking time. I guess that they have, these 10 t-shirts and they are, wearing the same fucking t-shirt every single fucking day. Same fucking shit. They don't have to think about that. And the same thing, and I've been experiencing that thing, and that is true. And so the most decisions that we haven't been able to make, the more we are getting back. And so for me, example, I have periods throughout my day. I have at least 1 hour in my day, summing up my daily activities. I have at least 1 hour when I'm consciously writing down my decisions, when I'm consciously making decisions, when I'm consciously thinking, talking through my decisions and writing through my decisions, and I'm just simply writing them down. And if I'm unable to make a fucking decisions regarding to what the freaking hell will I want to eat, I'm writing that fucking shit down. So that's gone. Decision made, shit is done. And so this is how this whole picture will be all lined out. It's like you eventually will be making those decisions. And now that you've been able to make the decisions, and now that you have these this discipline, so that for you will be also executing upon the decisions, you will eventually be at a pace when, hey bro, I've been writing this shit down, I've been sticking to that thing, and now since you also have this inner accountability which you've been building up throughout consistent execution upon the decisions that you've been made, now you are at a place that you have this inner accountability that you can super confidently tell to yourself that, hey man, motherfucker made this decision, motherfucker will be holding with that decision. Motherfucker wants to do that, so motherfucker will do that. So now when motherfucker wrote down that this will be for dinner, this will be for dinner. I don't care if I'm feeling tired, or I don't care if I feeling a different mood. Bro, like, you made that fucking decision, like, stick to that. And so again, this is coming back. I don't necessarily make a decision regarding to food, and this is a super easy example. The food, like what will you be eating for dinner? I'm not necessarily making a decision about that. But when it pops up, I'm just writing down decision made, period. Next one. Super easy. And also, just to round everything up, when we obviously have to make a decision and do not have enough reference points, then you simply sit our asses down and try to think through as many future possibilities as humanly possible, which is called second order thinking. So for example, take your freaking decision, take the paths, and now that you've got the paths, just think through it, like what will the future scenarios be? So what will the consequence of the consequence of that consequence be? So for example, if for dinner today, you will be eating too little meat, that will mean that tomorrow you will feel more hungry, you will feel more irritable, which means that might be just fucking up your whole day. Although if you are eating too much, although if you are choosing to eat too much meat, that will be ruining your day in a different way. What are all the possibilities that you have? Also, you have a third thing. You don't really have the time for cook today. So what are all the decisions? What are the prices over here? What will be the consequences? And so I wouldn't like to get into one thought experiment regarding to this, because that's a long fucking time, like thinking through all the fucking possibilities over here. But it is called second order thinking, and this is a topic for second and higher order principle thinking, and this is also another topic for a different video. And so this is how the whole thing is all round up, could be round up, is that the more decisions we are not able to make, the more we are holding ourselves back. So just simply start making those fucking decisions, brother. Just simply start making those fucking decisions. So for example, today for me, and this is why I'm talking about this topic, because I'm in front of some big decisions. So now that I've been building up my knowledge inside lead generation and inside home service businesses, I really have many decisions, like many gates did open up for me. So it's like, man, should I supposed to be chasing the home builds, or should I supposed to be chasing a more agency direction, or should I supposed to be chasing a more commission direction? How the whole thing's supposed to look like? And basically under that, like, there are so many decisions too. It's like, should I supposed to be a pay-per lead model? Should I supposed to be chasing an SEO model? So these are pretty much like all the possibilities. And so now what I've been thinking is that, hey man, like, what is the long fucking term goal? What is the long fucking term vision? Okay, so this is the 10-year vision. What do I want to do? Do I want to build home? No, bro. I want a fucking agency. Okay, so go after that shit, bro. It's like simple as this. And so if the things are not leading towards that thing that you want to go through, then fuck them. And this is the last point that I wanted to talk about, and this will be the end of the video because it got long. But I'm so blessed that I've been able to sum up all of my ideas that I had regarding to this, and I've been able to put it inside of a video. So this will be point actually 6, which is that the bigger the time frame that we are thinking about, the higher and the bigger we can go in life, because it will not be about starting a different thing and switching and being able to jerk like a fucking puppet all the time and we have a different thought. It's like, no, bro. I know that for me, running is a shit for every single fucking day. You get your ass up, you go out there running. Okay, cold showers. I know that it would feel fucking good to have a warm shower, but that will be ruining up my identity. That will be ruining up my shit. And also, I know that cold showers actually is a fucking blessing for my ass. The same thing with business. I know that it would be so fucking good and maybe I could be making some quick cash. But fuck yes, man. Like, what is the goal? What is the goal? What is the end goal? And so if that shit is not supporting the end goal, then fuck that. Like, maybe I could be making more money on the short term, but I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I care about being able to become a fucking billionaire, you know, in 10, 15 years. I don't care about, you know, making 10k or 100k a month. This is my shorter term goal, by the way, 100k a month. But if that thing is not leading me to that, like, cut that shit. Cut that shit. And the same thing, and everything with relationships, it's like, I will not get into deep inside of that, but if I see that someone wouldn't be perfect for me, or it is not 120% yes, it's like a fucking no. It's a no. And so this is how this whole picture is outlined out. So just to phrase up everything, in the very beginning, we just simply shouldn't supposed to be making decisions which are not 100% yes. And so when it is not 100% yes, then it means a fucking no. And so now that we know that these are the decisions, someday or some way we will have the perfect shit that will be popping up. Now we are writing out that shit. Now we are making the decision throughout consecutive execution. We are executing upon the decision, which is coming from our ability that we are building up inside of ourselves, will be from discipline. And now that we are executing upon all of these decisions, then we will have less and less and less and less and less unmade decisions, which will be which will allow us to eventually go forward in life, because again the decisions that we haven't been able to make are holding us back. And so the most and the better we are becoming it in these decision making, the better and the easier and the more space we'll have, so therefore we can have a better life, so therefore we can have everything. And so this is it regarding to decision makings, brothers. And I think that I've been phrasing up everything, and please, if you have any kind of a side note towards any of these points, I'd be more than blessed to talk about them. Love.